Hey everyone, this is Cindy, and I'm working on this journal, and I was trimming off pages. You can see all my cutoffs over here, and I noticed, and I already knew it, that I had tons of white pages because I have several digitals in here. So white pages, they didn't really bother me because this isn't a real grungy journal. It's, a spring gardening journal, so they're fine, but I still wanted to address them a little bit. And I was thinking about stencils, and I thought what I would really like is just a border around the edges. So I thought, why can't I make my own stencil or template or mask or whatever the official word is for these? Why can't I make my own? So I started experimenting, and basically the idea is you make a mask, and see if this is one I've done, yeah. And then you use it to stencil your pages. And it leaves the white space in the center, and then you've got the ink around the edges. So it's just another way to decorate the white pages and leave the white and the writing space intact. Okay, so as you can see, I have several different ones. I put in the sizes of the page on there so I can reuse them in the future. And I also thought, well, why don't I try tracing one of these onto some chipboard and making it a little sturdier, and that works too. So just whatever you want to do. But anyway, let me show you how easy this is to do, and every one of your white pages can have a different template if you want. It's just up to you. Okay, so the hardest part is getting in your chair with a gimpy leg. No, the hardest part is just measuring your page, your half page. So this one is 5 1/4, just a little, not quite, and this one is not quite 8. So I can cut it exactly the same size, this piece of paper, and I picked this one because it will show up on this white paper. I can cut it the exact size, or I can just kind of cut it a little bit smaller. So if it's 5 1/4, let's cut it 5. If it's 7 7/8, let's just cut it 7 3/4. I mean, yeah. We just cut it down just a little bit more. I don't know if I said all that right or not. So we're going to do 5. And I know my cutter may not be on screen, and it's loud. Clangs and bangs a lot. Let's see. I said 7 3/4, roughly. If you don't get it right, it's fine, because you're going to be cutting it smaller anyway. And then by 5. And what you should do next is just check it out. Make sure. I'm trying not to be loud with my cutter. It clangs. Okay, just check it out. See if it's too big or too little. You want to see some white around the edges, and we do. So that works out well. So now what we do is we fold it in half, and then you fold it in half again. So you are left with a side that's folded. I got paper sticking to me. A side that's folded, and then these are folds down here. So you don't want to cut those. You want to cut the two sides that are open. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take your scissors, and you're just going to weave in and out. You can cut scallops, curves, you can do sharp edges, corners, points, whatever you want. It's kind of like cutting snowflakes like we did when we were young. And I did about 1/8 of an inch around it. It may be it may not be enough, we'll see. And I have really kind of funky there, but that's okay. You can see it better here. Okay. As long as I have some white space around it, I'm pretty happy. So let's just give this a try. So then you take your ink, and I have a dauber that's got a lot of, oops, I was going to put something under it. Under this page, yeah. So I'm going to get lined up again. Okay. It's got some brown on it, but I'm using antique velvet, so it's kind of a brownish pink. But I wanted it to show up pretty good for you, so. And, if you look at your design and you don't like it, you can recut it on this particular one, or just cut a whole nother piece. And it doesn't have to be good paper like I did this one out of this old paper, just so you can see it against the white. Okay, hopefully you can see with the stencil now how it's come out. And it left me my writing space, but yet I've got ink around it. So it's decorative, and it's easy, and doesn't take too much time. I could use this same template for every page as long as it wasn't too big, or I can cut different ones. You saw the stack of the ones I had. So anyway, that's my idea. It's easy. Measure your page, cut a template a little bit smaller, fold it in half, trim around it, and then you've got a pretty cool looking stencil around your white page. Now, I was thinking when I pulled one of these out, this one's, let me do another page, this one's smaller. Get one of these bigger ones. Okay, right here. Because all your pages will be different probably, because this is the digital, and sometimes they print really close to the edge and sometimes they don't. So this one came pretty close. So I thought, what if instead of doing 2 halves, I do one big whole one? But I don't really like that idea too much, because then you don't have the edge in the middle. But it might not matter to you, because this could be, you could say, well, that's where the signatures get sewn in. So anyway, let me try just one of these. I keep sticking to the paper. Oops. I mean, you could say, well, this is faster and just does the same job basically. So it's just whatever you want, and maybe you want a variety. So get this bottom here. I didn't put a page under it, didn't I? So there's the whole thing done with one big stencil, which works fine, because in the book, where was it in here? Was it with this one? Oh yeah, this is the one that she had these papers where they kind of line up. Some of them do. Whenever I do the flip through, I'll show it. But this particular one, they don't line up, so it doesn't matter where I put this one. Okay, see how these line up? I got the bees, and one side's writing, one side's just to look at. Well, they all don't line up that way, so I'm not sure where I had this one. We'll put it right here. Okay, so anyway, that's what it would look like in the signature. So this part wouldn't be stenciled on. Okay, so that's an option. But another thing, when you cut them wrong and you cut one of the folded edges instead of the 2 cut edges, you get 2 pieces. So you could do like 2 little writing spots. This is probably too big. No, it's not. Okay, let's try it. Okay, let me do one at a time. I just have to be real careful about not going too far down this way. So you might want to get your regular stenciling brushes that can do a little smaller job than what I'm doing probably. But I'm just using what's quick at hand. Okay, there's the first one. And now the second one. So anyway, you have just kind of like divided up page. So anyway, there's varieties of things you can do. It's very simple. Hopefully I made sense when I was trying to explain how to do it. Didn't get too much bogged down in the weeds. So anyway, you might give it a try if you want to take care of your white pages and you don't have stencils or don't want to use them, or you don't have the right stencil or whatever. So use a stenciling mask. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.